fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good you say? I doubt it will stand up to something. I haven't even disrespected you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when the ass takes off his shirt.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean.
What's up, boys and girls? Happy Valentine's Day. It is Tuesday, February 14th, the day of love. Hope everyone's feeling loved today. Or maybe you can make someone else feel loved. I don't know. Or you could just hang in there and wait till tomorrow when all the chocolate goes on sale. There's something for everybody this Valentine's season. If you're a sad person, yeah, you got to clean up on those CVS chocolate sales. But if you're in love, yeah, if you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'll spend out the ass for a dinner. I'll embrace that, yeah, because I love my person. Maybe you're just gonna go to the diner. Maybe you're just gonna masturbate and fall asleep. It's a win-win. Before I get to there's a lot of news, a lot of topics. That's why I start late, because news is like flying in. It keeps coming in. It keeps flying at my face. So much news. Let's do my shows. Let's talk about my shows. I got shows coming up. I'm going to be in California literally next week. I'll be in Pasadena. Oh my God, this is already next Thursday. This is hard to believe. Where is it in 2 weeks? I'm blind. Yeah, next week. Next Thursday, I'll be in Pasadena, headlining the Elks Lodge on the 23rd. And then I'll be in San Diego, headlining the Mic Drop Comedy Club. One show Friday, one show Saturday, the 24th and 25th. All these California shows will be with the lovely and talented Lila Hart. She will be opening for me. Then I'll be in Staten Island. Woo! Headlining the Reef at Paradise Island Friday, April 7th. Then I'm heading to Jersey Saturday, April 8th to headline Tiff's Ale House, also known as the Dojo of Comedy. This is a great club in Jersey. And then, oh, you know what? I think I got a show that I just booked. I think I'm going to be in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Somewhere in there too. Yeah. March 23rd. I think I'll be in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'll have to throw that in there. I don't know if tickets are available yet. Then I'm heading to Dallas in May. I'm headlining Hyenas Comedy Club. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. That's Friday, May 5th and Saturday, May 6th at Hyenas. Lila Hart will be opening for me at these shows as well. Then we got Anime Matsuri coming up in August, the 10th through the 13th at the George R. Brown Convention Center. You can get tickets for this convention through the Anime Matsuri website. Then I'll be headlining in Houston that same weekend, Friday, August 11th at the Secret Group. So this will be like a little unofficial after party for Anime Matsuri. If you have nothing to do, come hang, come laugh. TimCast will be at this convention. We'll have a booth. We'll have a panel. We will be there. Then, God, I've got a show, I think, in Richmond, too. I don't know when that is right now, but I'll be in Richmond at some point, too. I started to put on fake press-on nails, and I only could get through a couple. I started doing this last night on the train. That's classy, right? But I'm going to have to, like, when I put them on this hand, I'm going to have to cut them down a little bit because I'm going to need them to be short so I can take my contacts out so I'm not stabbing myself in the eye. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Woo! Okay. Happy V-Day. So much going on. We're going to talk about the global Disinformation Index. We're going to talk about Fetterman's lump on his neck. What the fuck is going on there? We're going to figure it out. We're going to talk about Ohio Chernobyl. But first, let's bring up some nice Valentines. Yeah. I like this one. I like this. I like this Dr. Fauci Valentine. You make my heart stop. I also enjoy B myocarditis. That's fun. I like that too. I haven't heard much from Fauci lately. He's been pretty quiet. I think he's laying low. Maybe he also was sex trafficked. We got some limited edition. That's right. We got limited edition Eliza Bleu Valentines. Wow. The colon's in the wrong spot here, but you get the deal. I want you to use my image and likeness. That's very nice. We got the candy hearts in the background. Then we got, you're the only one I want to be trafficked to. I like that. Just let the special someone in your life know how you feel about them with these limited edition Eliza Bleu Valentines. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'll block everyone on Twitter except for you. Give me your heart and I'll give you my consent temporarily. And then I'll retract it later on. That's so romantic. Oh, but wait, there's more. More Eliza Bleu Valentines. Here's the lovely Shane Cashman saying, you're the only one I'll write a puff piece for. Oh. We got, you can retract the article, just don't retract our love. This is good if you know like an author or a journalist. Then we have, I love you more than 1,000 PR bots ever could. Oh, wow. That's a lot. More than the strength of 1,000 PR bots. And my favorite, my love for you is Warhol-esque. What the fuck does that even mean? Chugging vitamin water, 'cause I hate regular water. That's fun. Last year at this time, we made fun Frosk Valentines. So it was only fitting that we did Eliza Bleu Valentines. I think we should do a daily Eliza Blue check-in. Let's see. What has she tweeted? Is there anything new on her? Has she been quiet? I think when we last spoke, it might have been before the full retraction of all 3 parts of Shane's article. So at first they took just the last part down, just the part 3 of 3, because it involved pretty serious defamation towards Mr. Defango, but they have taken down now all 3 parts and claimed that we, the reader, basically are too stupid to understand. It was misperceived. Oh, we're so dumb. Okay. Her last tweet. Wow. Okay, she has not tweeted since, is this correct? February 10th? Has she had any replies? Nope. Her last tweet is February 10th. I'm going to live out my love story now. What the fuck? I hope you find the same thing. Be happy and fall in love. All right, she's clearly grasping at straws here. Let's pull this up. Eliza, watch. I'm gonna live out my love story now. I hope that you find the same thing. Be happy and fall in love. Okay. You could start by falling in love with the truth. Eliza Blue 10 years later. What is this? Oh, Monica Matthews tagging Rampage Rants. The grift is strong with this one. She's free now. Yeah, she's free now, guys. She hasn't tweeted, so I'm sure that's correct. Liars don't answer questions because they have no answers for the false claims to begin with. I still can't find them on her profile. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm also not exactly sure how to use Twitter yet. New Twitter person. Your love story with yourself, you mean? From Dick Masterson. I'm pretty convinced love story is code for future OnlyFans career. Hope it goes smoothly, and that's the plan for me one day, to find someone I love, but I'm not going to start due to Me Too movement, and I am not being a victim of false accusations that ruin my life. From Deepak. Eliza Blue's implosion has the same feel as SBF tweeting after the bankruptcy. Compelling, but also sad. There's a gallows humor aspect to this. This kind of love story. Oh, this seems like ages ago. The old children consent quote. That's enough of that. It's going to be hard to recover from this. I honestly think this is the 15-year-old boy bangs the hot math teacher argument. Brags about it, teacher gets in trouble mindset. I'd have a math teacher that would make me go to math twice a day. Totally would have. Absolutely. But a community of car mechanics see the 22-year-old teacher for going to jail for having sex with a 17-year-old boy as injustice as well. The opposite is not the same. Oh my God. Did Elon tweet this? Okay, Elon's tweets Twitter. This is so silly. That's funny. There are no coincidences. I think it's safe to say that Elon's relationship with Eliza must be all but severed, completely severed at this point. I mean, there's no way he's answering her DMs still. I doubt she had his personal cell phone. Maybe she had like an assistant's email or something like that. I wonder if she's crafting a plan with Ella Irwin as we speak. She's like, Ella, what are we going to do? And Ella's going to be like, Eliza, I don't know, Kramer. Oh, boy. You know, it's also interesting, those of you that are thinking, is Eliza totally done? Is she like ready to hang it up? No, she's not. In fact, she's going to be at an event in April 15th at the Vulcan Gas Company. She's going to be at Minds Fest featuring Destiny, Brian Callen, Peter Boghossian, Daryl Davis, Chris Williamson, and more. Live debates, podcasts, and music. Carrie Smith will be emceeing. A lot of great people at this event. I mean, if you're in the Texas area at all, you should go to this. But I think it's so interesting is that the the panel that Eliza was supposed to be on, or is scheduled to still be on, she is still going to this. How to moderate and decentralize social networks. It's going to be Eliza, Ian Crossland. Uh-oh. Are they going to sit together? Is there going to be more footsie? Luke Radowski and Stephen Bonnell, a.k.a. Destiny. So, I mean, she is still set to be at this event, which if she shows up, I give her some credit for, because, like, girl, ain't no way you're going to go to this event in public and not be asked questions about all this. You think people are going to forget in 2 months? Okay. Get your tickets now. Go to minds.com to get your tickets. The Vulcan is a great venue. I've done comedy shows there. It's interesting because Libby Emmons from the Post Millennial has written an article about this very thing. Controversial activist Eliza Blue set to debate content moderation at Austin Free Speech Festival. Blue redefined the concept of being trafficked to include having others share photos of her online that were from a publicly available video performance she seemingly willingly gave and publicized. Minds Festival is hosting Eliza Blue on a panel about content moderation at their upcoming Austin event. Blue made headlines recently when she was accused of censorship in the wake of the Twitter suspensions of prominent YouTubers Brittany Ventine and The Quartering. The live event, slated for April 15th at Austin's storied Vulcan Theater, will feature many notable names in the contemporary free speech movement, including Peter Boghausen, Daryl Davis, and Jack Posobiec. But Blue is a recently new voice who is focused on speaking up against human trafficking. The celebrity she gained after speaking out about human trafficking, claiming that her empathy for the victims was based on her own experience having been trafficked, quickly turned to notoriety when she used her purported victim status to censor others. After Elon Musk took over the Twitter, Blue was commended for working with Twitter to fight child exploitation on the platform. I mean, is there proof of this even? I've also heard Gabe Hoffman from An Open Secret basically come out and say that there is no proof of that. And in fact, he can prove that other folks worked to. He can actually prove. I think he in a tweet thread said that actually the material has not been taken off of Twitter, and the hashtags she claimed to have been removed apparently are still working. I have no idea even what they are or like how to find them. I don't know. I just don't even want to look. But apparently this myth can be dispelled. This whole idea that she has fought child trafficking on Twitter. I think that has been debunked. And Musk announced that the removal of the child exploitation imagery was the platform's number one priority. And now it seems that maybe it wasn't. As always, Minds Bill Ottman told the Post Millennial, we host conversations and debates between figures with wide-ranging views, often opposing. Minds.com, the social network, and our live events are built on the principles of free speech and civil discourse, especially with those we disagree with. The Austin panel about social media moderation was launched well before the stir, but now seems poised to be even more of an intense and powerful discussion given recent events. Minds also features comedy and live music, so we hope people come out in the spirit of celebrating diversity of thought and culture. After Blue made an appearance on TimCast, reading statements, that was, I think, January 6th or so, 7th, reading statements from alleged human trafficking victims who were accusing internet personality Andrew Tate of trafficking them, questions began to rise on social media, specifically from YouTubers, about Blue's background. Threads began unfurling with insinuations and implications about Blue's past. Lists of her former monikers began to circulate, and timelines popped up on Reddit and other locations trying to puzzle together what the internet knows of her history with what she has stated in recent months. One item that many YouTubers found that cast doubt on Blue's story was a music video in which she performed on in 2016. That video from World Star Hip Hop opens with credit reading World Star presents Eliza, while Blue, who then went by Eliza Knows, dances provocatively. Blue has said she is currently 41, which makes her 34 in the video. Blue gave an interview about that video shortly after it was released, speaking with pride about her performance and how grateful she was to be in the video. In it, she said that she had approached the director and asked to be considered and was overjoyed when she was cast in the video. Blue said that she was excited to work with the director and she appreciated the camera he used, which is top of the line. Oh, yeah. Remember the whole, I don't want to shit myself when I see a Red Dragon camera. Oh, my God. I almost pissed myself. She further said that her parents hadn't seen the video yet and intimated that the video had a lot of her own ideas and vision in it. It was her idea to do it in the desert. Several YouTubers posted stills of Eliza from that video on Twitter. Blue felt that the Twitter posting of images that were publicly available on the rest of the internet was a violation. She reported the posts to Twitter, and Twitter had the allegedly offending accounts locked pending deletion of the posts. And to this date, Brittany Venti is still locked out of her account. She's going on a full month of being locked out of her account. She was locked out January 20th. So how many days has she been locked out? Who's good at math? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Today is day 26 of Venti being locked out of her account for posting a public screenshot. A screenshot of a publicly available music video that was not age restricted, fully monetized, and that Eliza herself was paid for, by the way. I'm going to address this one time and one time only, she posted on January 20th. A non-consensual photo was posted of me yesterday on Twitter. Non-consensual, girl. Please explain to me how that's non-consensual. Like, if somebody posts like a picture of me from a private stand-up comedy, am I going to really say that that's a non-consensual photo? Okay. The photos have been removed. The source of the photo has also been contacted, and I'm preparing to escalate to the full extent of the law. Twitter did an outstanding job and will be excluded from legal action. By the way, she later came out and said she is not going to sue World Star Hip Hop, and nobody involved in World Star Hip Hop trafficked her. So this has nothing to do with World Star Hip Hop. World Star owns the rights to the music video. She did not say outright that she had danced in the video against her will, nor, right, that would have been the perfect time to be like, yeah, I did that music video under duress. Boom, there we go. That sounds like enough of an excuse. Nor did she say that she promoted the video under duress, though she later had the World Star video removed from YouTube. World Star issued a statement saying that Blue, then knows, was paid for this video and we own full rights. When backlash erupted after the accounts were locked for posting publicly available images, Blue again addressed the controversy and her actions. She redefined the concept of being trafficked to include having others share photos of her online that were from a publicly available video performance she seemingly willingly gave and publicized. Yes, this is the key issue here. Like, yeah, it sucks that she lied. It sucks that she grifted. But, like, the fact that Venti is still locked out of her account for this is fucking wild. I haven't asked for a censorship of words. Yeah, okay. Nice cope, Eliza. Etc. Any screenshot or repost. By the way, freedom of speech includes publicly available images alongside a question, which is what she did. Any screenshot or repost of the World Star video specifically can get your account in trouble on multiple platforms. I mean, does this sound like a threat or what? These are not my rules. Oh, it's not my rules. And it's not a threat. I'm just letting you know because there is confusion. Oh, yeah, we're so confused. We're so confused, Eliza. You know who's confused right now? Brittany Venti, who's locked out of her account for 26 days because she posted something that's publicly available. I felt so digitally. Oh, this is my favorite. I felt so digitally sexually exploited on a massive scale. What, before or after you got paid for this music video? That it's hard to articulate. She wrote, "My body and trauma has once again provided funding for others' personal gain." Girl, just answer the question. Like, why did you report that tweet? That's all we want to know. Nobody's trying to use your body for anything at this point. The only thing that I can possibly think to do is to turn this pain around to help others in similar situations. Yeah, right. Okay. The next day she posted, "Today I have decided to change my story." This is a survivor. "I have been abused a third time on a massive digital scale. It's called image-based sexual abuse, or IBSA. Every individual who knowingly profited off this content without my consent has become my abuser," my story. In her view, the posting of the images constituted abuse and was further exploitation. Girl, it doesn't sound like you're cut out to be in the public eye if this is how you truly feel. You didn't fight censorship, and you certainly shouldn't be posting that you're willing to die on the hill of free speech. Oh, right, except when it involves the truth about your story. Got it. You didn't fight censorship. You fought to exploit me. I'm so exploited. I can't answer any questions. She wrote, "Nude/partially nude." By the way, these photos, she was not nude. So, again, she is gaslighting the whole internet. Sexually suggestive content without my consent. If you would have asked, I wouldn't have consented. So we now have to ask people if we can cite publicly available content that they've done. Guys, if you ever want to cite my album Live from January 6th, you have to ask first. I know it's available on Amazon and iTunes, but You have to ask me first if you want to, like play a joke from there or, mention it on a public platform. Unbelievable. You believed that I consented previously, so you decided to take my body and use it for your gain. Girl, if you somehow previously consented to that World Star Hip Hop video and then at some point between 2016 and now realized that you regretted doing it, you should have had it taken down then and not waited for somebody to ask you a question about your past. Like, do you even understand how sketchy it looks? She alleged that sharing the photos made me a victim again. And that claims countering her allegations that she had not been sex trafficked were now moot because the sharing of the images was, in essence, sex trafficking. Yeah, okay. When and if Blue takes the Mind stage to address the topic of how to moderate and decentralize social networks alongside panelists Ian Crossland, yes, you should come and see Ian again. Luke Rudowski, and Stephen Destiny Bunnell. She will most likely have to face some pressing questions from panelists and audience. There will be an open and uncensored Q&A. Eliza Blue did not respond to a request for comment by time of publication. Oh my God, I'm so shocked. Guys, this is what I genuinely want to know, and you can answer this question whether or not you live in the Texas area. Do you want to see Eliza at this event? Number one, do you think she should be canceled from it? Because the Babylon Bee did cancel her from a live event, I guess, based on the premise that she is not who she says she was. Or do you think she should, be allowed to come and participate in the panel and speak? Or do you also feel like Brittany Venti should be invited to the panel as well? Or like the Quartering, or like a Blair White? I mean, I think it'd be best to have Brittany on because then, it affected her directly, and she was the catalyst for the whole thing. But like, I genuinely want to know what you guys think. Do you want to cancel her? Do you think she should be canceled from it? Do you think she should do it like nothing happened? Keep all the same panelists, or do you think they should really try to bring on Brittany Venti? Because people are going to be asking her about this. There's no way Eliza's going to be able to escape questioning. It's only 2 months from now. Like, some people are going to forget, sure, but not everyone's going to forget. Okay, let me go through some of your answers. Farron should be on the panel. Ooh, yes. Okay, make a poll. That's a good idea. Bring Britler, says Papa Ooze. Anything goes. I'm anti-canceling. So, like, don't cancel her from the event. Let the mud wrestle. Do a live trafficking. Good night, Mister says we need to get Brittany and Farron there. Should be platformed. If she is, should she be held to questioning for the creators and users she banned? I want her to show up and see if anyone puts her in the hot seat. Venti being there would be perfect. Absent-minded thinks she won't show. As of right now, she is still planning on going. Yeah, Brittany is like near the Dallas area, so she is not far from Austin. Poll. You guys want to poll? All right. I don't know how to do it from StreamYard. Let me see if I can do it from the YouTube side. Okay, let's see. I should be able to figure this out, right? I'm smart. Poll. I don't see anywhere to do it. Okay, engage with your audience. Start a poll. Here it is. Okay. Should Brittany Venti be invited to the lines? Fuck, I can't spell. Yes or no? Option, it depends. Should I add it depends? I'll add it depends. All right, boom. The poll is up. I'm going to keep this up. Wow, this is my first poll. I am now a poll worker. Okay. I bet the washed up prostitute will start a cat fight. The panelists, yeah, for her panel are going to be Ian Crossland, Luke Radowski, and Destiny. Tim and Ian have her on Minds Festival panel. They know her better than they let on. Why the hell are they propping her up? So it's not, Minds is different. Tim and Ian have their own separate event the day before this event. So this is, I think, April 15th at the Vulcan, and Tim and Ian have their own like TimCast event. They are kind of collaborating, but they do have separate events. So I think the TimCast event is going to be the day before, and they've already sold it out. They sold out the 300 something seat theater like just in a matter of a few hours. I think they sold it out before the tickets even went on sale. But there are still tickets for the Minds event, which you guys should go to. And there's definitely going to be some crossover. Like there's definitely going to be TimCast people at the Minds event. I don't know if Eliza was going to be involved with the TimCast. Actually, was Eliza involved in the TimCast event? Let's go to their website. Going to their website. Maybe they took it off. Maybe they took it off their website. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see the ad for the event up anymore. They must have taken it down. I mean, it makes sense because it did sell out. There's no need to promote it anymore. Interesting. No, Eliza was not scheduled to be on the TimCast event. Okay. So yeah, there was TimCast crossover from Minds to their own event, but no Eliza crossover. Interesting. I would definitely go to this if I was in the Texas area at all. You guys should go. You guys should go to this. Let's see how the poll is doing. To the poll. Okay. Why can't I see this? Am I retarded? Don't answer that. Why can't I see the poll results? Do I have to scroll to the beginning of the chat? Okay, right now I just see the winner of the poll, which is yes at 87%. Holy cow. I'll leave this up for a little bit longer. I'll let some more people vote. I am polling you. Eliza might get trafficked by Ian and the cast crew. Make a make a bunch of signs that say free venti. Tim offered Crowder a chance to be at Minds, but he cried and said it was a slave's contract. I think it needs to be spoken about more how what Blue is doing will impact Project Veritas. The people they recorded will strike the videos on the same grounds. Wow, okay. But then that brings into play the whole like where you're recording, is it a one-party consent state for recording? I'm polling you. Jeremy's anxiety, it's ridiculous. Or are you talking about his travel anxiety? And I'm a fan, but he shills coffee. And hey, I would shill coffee if I had my own coffee company, which makes anxiety worse. And he could do things that make it better, but he doesn't even bother. That's weak. Yeah, it's hard to know. Like you're probably saying this out of your desire to help a person, but again, you have no control over what people do or put in their body, and who knows? Like there's so many factors that go into someone having anxiety or not. The co-founder of Minds Fest is Ian Crossland, so Eliza has her claws still in their circle. What would you think? What would make for the most interesting event? Because that's what it's all about. Like Minds is all about facilitating free speech and having an open conversation. And that's what's really great about them. They're not just going to have right-wing people on or conservatives. They have all types on. New poll: should Chrissie and Brittany make out to Eliza's World Star song? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. You guys want to hear it, right? Okay. Oh, thank you, Jerkoff Juggernaut, for gifting 5 Chissie Mayr memberships. That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Jerkoff. Also, from Chipicus. Did you hear about East Palestine, Pennsylvania? Yup. Where's Mayor Pete and Biden? The government caused one of the biggest environmental disasters in U.S. history. Yes. I'm trying to catch up about that situation. It sounds fucking horrible. Does anybody know anybody who lives in that area of Ohio, of East Palestine? Let's go see how the poll is doing. Oh, wow. 87%. All right, I'm going to leave this up for like the rest of my episode. See how people vote. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's talk about Ohio Chernobyl since it's on everybody's minds today. Sounds pretty fucking scary. Train that derailed in Ohio carried more toxic chemicals reported. Wow. Yeah, if anybody lives in Ohio in the chat, like tell me what you've been observing or if you have any family that live there. All right, that's some nice B-roll. The train that derailed in a small Ohio town was carrying more toxic chemicals than initially reported, it has been revealed. As officials Monday announced a town hall meeting to discuss the catastrophe would take place later in the week, the community of East Palestine was rocked by the February 3rd derailment. God, I can't believe it was that long ago. February 3rd. Holy fuck. That forced the evacuation of hundreds of residents before authorities conducted a controlled burn of the Norfolk Southern Railroad train cars chemicals to stop a potential explosion. Toxins like volatile vinyl chloride, as well as phosgene and hydrogen chloride, were known to be aboard, but other toxins were also in the cars of the train traveling from Illinois to Pennsylvania, ABC News reported. I should see what ABC News said about it. The additional chemicals released into the air and soil after the fiery crash included ethylene glycol monobutyl ether, ethyl hexyl acrylate, and isobutylene, according to the outlet, citing the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. It's funny if they called it the pretentious agency. Damn. I was listening to Morning Wire this morning, and they said that this particular train, I guess, reportedly traveled a good 20 miles or so with like one of the spokes or one of the axles either sparking or totally like on fire flaming. So I don't know why it took so long for somebody to why didn't somebody notice that? The chemicals pose various health risks if people were to come in contact with them. For instance, exposure to ethylene glycol monobutyl ether can lead to irritation of the eyes, nose, throat, skin, as well as blood in the urine, vomiting, and nervous system depression. According to Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. Evacuation orders ended last week for East Palestine residents and some nearby Pennsylvania households in the vicinity of the derailment after air and water samples were collected and found to be safe. Yeah, right. There's no way that they're safe. Are you kidding me? The EPA said Monday evening that it has not found any worrisome levels of toxin in the air that can be blamed on the crash. Since a controlled burn of toxins was done last week, ABC News reported, residents were told to leave before that controlled burn from 5 tanker cars or face death or illness. The community air monitoring would continue 24 hours daily, but as of Sunday night, 291 homes that were screened have not detected vinyl chloride or hydrogen chloride were identified. The EPA said another 181 homes still need to be screened as of Monday, the agency said. EPA's top priority is the health and safety of all communities. Since the initial train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, we have had 6 staff and 16 contractors on the ground to assist with air monitoring actions. Yikes. East Palestine Mayor Trent Conway announced a town hall forum would be held about the train derailment and its aftermath on Wednesday, where wary residents could question officials about the derailment and its effects on the community. There will be an opportunity for East Palestine residents and those affected in surrounding areas for question and answer, according to the press release from Conway. Last week, reports emerged of animals falling sick and dying near the crash site, including one dairy farm owner who told WKBN several foxes on his property became mortally ill. Oh, that's sad. Oh, the animals. Oh no, the sick fox.
People living near the site of a train derailment in Ohio are finally allowed to return.
Oh no. The poor animals. Out of nowhere. Okay, how many foxes does this guy have? Out of nowhere, he just started coughing really hard, just shut down, and he had liquid diarrhea and just went very fast. Damn. Yeah, sounds like a fucking chemical. Poor foxes. He said the others have developed watery eyes, puffy faces, and uncharacteristically refused to eat for several days. Smoking chemicals from the train, that's the only thing that can cause it, because it doesn't just happen out of nowhere. These chemicals we're told that they're safe. They're in the air, and that's definitely not safe for the animals or people. This is a cocktail of deadly chemicals, including highly toxic vinyl chloride and hydrogen chloride. Spilled out of 50 cars on a Norfolk Southern Railroad train derailed en route to Pennsylvania. Holy shit. Officers conducted a controlled burn in the area to avoid a catastrophic tanker failure. Breathe those under heavy concentrations, and it's really bad for you. Christ told the network, it's like an acid mist. It's not something that you want to be around in high concentrations. It can cause liver and other organs. Yeah, they're all carcinogens. The chickens died. My chickens died, said Amanda Breachers of North Lima. My chickens slowed down and died. If it can do this to chickens in one night, imagine what it's going to do to us in 20 years. Whoa. A previous spillage of vinyl chloride after a train derailment occurred in Paulsboro, New Jersey in 2012. That state's Department of Health compiled a fact sheet on the potential effects of exposure to humans that year, which had stated, it is not known whether short-term exposure to vinyl chloride can cause long-term health effects. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services also has a more recent information sheet on vinyl chloride, which said human and animal studies show higher rates of liver, lung, and several other types of cancer. Being exposed to vinyl chloride can affect a person's liver, kidney, lung, spleen, nervous system, and blood. People exposed to extremely high levels may have increased risk of miscarriage and birth defects. Fuck. Damage to male sperm-producing organs has occurred in laboratory animals. This is such an epic fuck up. Now, some people think this is a conspiracy, that this was planned to happen, and I can understand why people think that, because so many farms have like mysteriously burst into flames. Let's go to the comments. The government told us the air at Ground Zero was not toxic. First responders from 9/11 are still dying. I would tell the people of Ohio not to trust the government and stay away from the area for a while if you can until more tests are conducted. Exactly. I live 4 blocks from ground zero and went back home a month later, and they told us the air quality was fine. I woke up a day or two later and found a half an inch of dust on all the cars, and we all started getting scratchy throats. I literally rented a car and rented a house in Long Island for 7 months. Never trust the government. Agreed. The plume from the burning chemicals traveled over 200 miles in every direction. That's a big chunk of Ohio and Pennsylvania. Many people will come down with respiratory as well as liver and kidney diseases. The creeks in the area run off into the Ohio River, which makes its way to Mississippi, which goes into the Gulf of Mexico. I read there are reports of dead fish nearby. That's a lot of chemicals dumped into the environment. Similar to a nuclear accident, it will only spread in the direction the wind is blowing, usually a small slice of a 360-degree circle. These chemicals will leach into the ground and the water, and like nuclear waste, never go away. The wind will carry these deadly toxins at least 10,000 miles, and if a tornado hits, even worse than that. We will never know the entire damage that has been done. Millions of people are affected now and will be for decades. The economic damage will also be incredible because the agricultural, fishing, lumber, etc. industries will all be affected because they will all have been contaminated by this disaster. EPA said it was safe, just like the air after the Twin Towers came down. People got sick, got long-lasting effects, even died, and even up to this day. So the animals are dying already, and imagine the long-term effects in surrounding areas, and everyone still trusts the government? Okay. Don't forget about all the birth defects that will occur, too, because of this toxic spill. Damn. Wow. It's bad. Just remember, when it comes to the EPA, they were the ones who told all the first responders that the air was safe to breathe at ground zero. And they blew up that mine in Colorado and released the poison water. EPA, just another useless government agencies. Journalism is dead. Yeah, they arrested a reporter who tried to report on it. That's fucking crazy. People and animals staying in the area, please take NAC supplements to protect your liver and help the body detox from the chemicals. Yes, this is a great supplement. I feel like people should just like buy this in bulk no matter what. Things are getting worse. I've seen photos and videos of dead chickens, dead frogs, lots of dead fish. Who would want to eat any crops that the poison dropped down on? This is a catastrophe, but they're sure trying to keep it on the down low, aren't they? I want to know what caused the derailment. It's almost like I've heard people say like an axle or something came loose. So it's almost like folks are blaming, like, I don't know, the lack of reliable workforce, like the post-COVID, basically like lack of workforce, like people not wanting to work anymore. That old excuse. A disaster, and yet not even on the front page. The Ohio River is now completely filled with deadly chemicals, providing water for 10% of the U.S. population. Why the cover up? Wow. Train is Norfolk Southern, wholly owned by the Warren Buffett family. You see, our founding fathers granted freedom of the press, so news outlets would watch out for us, but it's for sale. Big Pharma, 70% of their revenue, wealthy political elite, and foreign governments all finance favorable reporting. But we knew that. What? This is a quote. We basically nuked a town with chemicals so we could get our railroad open. Sil Caggiano, a hazardous materials specialist and former fire department chief. Where is Pothole Pete? The transportation secretary is more worried about race than people dying. What happened? Why did this train derail? Whose bright idea was it to burn off the chemicals? The Little Mermaid, Pete Buttigieg, is too busy having a bubble bath, getting ready for his big Valentine's Day sausage surprise from his husband. The fish downstream are dead and floating on the water surface. The poison water is flowing down the Ohio River now in Cincinnati, heading to Mississippi, points south. Last stop is New Orleans. Okay. Yeah, a defect detector picked up a problem with one axle and wheel and alerted the crew. The key question is, did the alert come too late, or did the crew fail to take appropriate action? A second question is, who owned the rolling stock that had the failure, and what is their preventative maintenance regimen? Railroads don't own all the rolling stock. Hundreds of companies own tens of thousands of cars and simply contract with the railroad to move the car from point A to point B. All the other theories about war and bufferment, the government, terrorism, lack of security, and Chinese balloons is complete nonsense. A wheel or axle started heating up and coming apart. Mechanical equipment wears out, and considering the number of railroad wheels and axles turning billions of times every day across the nation, derailments are not unheard of. All right, this seems like a pretty solid take from Cronkite here. It just seems like negligence and like a fucking horrible accident. The train came off the tracks due to a broken axle, it's claimed. Funny how the union RR workers were forced back to work by Biden without the contract they wanted, though. Oof. Major disaster, and Pothole Pete is off duty telling us there are too many white construction workers in minority communities who would hire someone to build their house based on color. True. I don't think it should matter. Whoa. Tucker Carlson said there have been 1,000 train derailments recently. A braking system designed that the government refused to mandate updates to. A new braking safety standard was denied by Biden. It's literally a Civil War braking design the trains are still utilizing. Oh, it's a Civil War braking design that the trains are still utilizing. Wow. Okay, so they don't. What about the infrastructure? I thought he cared about infrastructure. Is Biden going to reimburse every homeowner in the affected area? Yeah, right. Their homes are worthless now. He needs to send money to Ohio instead of Ukraine. I agree. Yeah, a reporter was arrested trying to get access to the area. Wow. They are manufactured chemicals used in all kinds of industry and not natural substances, so it stands to reason that they are toxic and poisonous to some extent. My question is, how did the train derail, and were the tracks compromised? The air, the soil, the water will all be contaminated for a long time. Damn. I don't think this was an accident. See, when you don't trust the government and when people are not covering a huge story like this, it sows a lot of distrust for people, and you can't help but see all the conspiracy theories flying. Nothing the government ever tells us is the truth. I guess there will be more hearings in DC by our feckless, selfish representatives and accomplish nothing. This is a catastrophe, and they will spin and spin and spin, just like they did with the jab. Now they can blame all the new cancers, birth deformities, neurological diseases, etc. on climate change. Yeah, they definitely will. Oh, this is depressing, guys. Let's see. Let's go to the chat. Does anyone live in Ohio? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. What's up, Crash? Crash Mondo, is it your fault? Did you crash the trains? Look up the movie White Noise in relation to this incident, kind of like the Utopia TV series is to the pandemic. White Noise. Isn't that what I'm doing right now? Oh, a movie. What? Hold on, I just got so hungry all of a sudden. I hate when that happens. Okay. We'll keep that over here. Biden lied, chickens died. Thank you, Russell Hall. Yes, they did. And now, like, whales are dying. Makes me sad. John Thomas, thanks for the super chat. Phosgene was used in World War I. The lead train could be a half a mile ahead, so it's not that easy to see it. Oh, the lead train. Choo choo. Magnum Norse, thanks for the super chat. The current administration hates Americans, not surprised. Yep, they do. They certainly don't prioritize us. What's up, push-ups? Leanne lives about an hour from that area. Ugh, I gotta call her. I hope Leanne doesn't like grow a tail now. Or like Well, it'd be cool if something cool happened to her, like she grew a third boob. I think people would support that. Magnum Norse, thanks for the super chat. Tim, apology ain't enough. Eliza needs to recant her fake history. Venti didn't deserve that treatment. No, she didn't. I'm really afraid that this issue is just going to simmer down and Venti's just never going to get her account back over this bullshit. Mark Zart, thanks for the super chat. Eliza is a professional victim and attention seeker. Anything she thinks she can turn her advantage, she will. Free Britney. I can't get comfortable. I don't know why. I don't know how to sit. Metalhead Madman, thanks for the super chat. I got temporarily suspended on Twitter for calling Blue an irrelevant les. You mean like lesbian? That's interesting. Matthew Hammond for 2. The redheaded libertarian Josie tweeted some funny pickup lines. Sent DM. Oh, is this on Josie's Twitter feed? Fuck. Redheaded lib. Okay, I don't really know how to search for her right now. Thank you, Jerkoff Juggernaut, for becoming a new member. Chris, you can traffic me anytime you want. Thanks, Mr. Perfect. David Carpenter, what's up? Happy Valentine's Day. Chrissy, my dog, has a Valentine's date. Oh, I have a city planning commission meeting discussing our new comp plan. Win-win. Who was your dog's Valentine's Day? I hope it's not a person. I hope it's another dog. Imagine like a really nice man comes to your door, like dressed up, like, I'm here to take out Lucy. Ugh. In Biden's America, I could see that happening. Where's your neon sign? Yes, I have it packed. It's sitting on my bed right now. I don't really know how to hang it up. It's a very intimidating process, but it's awesome. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of it. NVIDIA sent me a neon sign that says Chrissie Mayr podcast. It's gonna look dope. It's gonna look good. Let's check on the poll. Wow. Okay. 86% say that yes, Venti should be invited to the Minds event. I mean, guys, it can't hurt to tweet at Minds and let them know this is what you would like to have happen. I think they very much care about like what the people think, what the people want. Brittany and Quartering should crash the Minds. Wow. I think didn't Defango issue a statement? Let's see what Defango's up to today. Let's see what's going on in the wonderful world of Defango. Okay. Saw this TimCast journalist post your Tinder account. Seems fucked to me, bro. I know you're archiving all. We stand with Defango. Chris Bertman? Is that a TimCast journalist? Huh. It's fun being gang stalked at the direction of Tim Pool by his entire staff. I guess it should be an ego boost since I seem to be more talented than all of them put together. Wow, is that really happening? Nice to see the TimCast paid gang stalkers doing the real research. I know my Tinder profile is funny. I made it. Yeah, who cares? Like, what would be the point of trying to make Defango look bad at this point? Huh. It's not every day you accidentally expose the biggest alternative media source as a bunch of no-talent clowns, but for me, it's just a Tuesday. Poor Chris Carr is so bad an editor. He didn't even fact-check his articles. They got removed from his website. I predict he will be jobless very soon. Okay, I think he's probably just enjoying this right now, Defango. Oh, is this a supercut of
attack my own fans? The answer is no, I didn't. Obviously, you're watching this. You're a fan. I never attacked you. Get the out, Scroats McGoat. You can cancel right now and see you later. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. I will never apologize to you, mob. I don't care where you come from, left or right. You'll never get an apology out of me for anything. Screw yourselves. I'm done with it. I'm completely done with it. Cancel your subscriptions at timcast.com if this is what you want. I never wanted your money in the first place. Tim Pool attacks his fans. Literally didn't do it. Screw yourselves. I get people like Jeremy Hambley getting booked for my show, and then instead of coming on my show, he goes on some other show and then insults me. Then he goes on his platform and attacks me and tells everybody that I insulted them, called them bots, and it's just not true. But the reality is, most of the people spamming us, they're not real people.
But the personal stuff is it's like TMZ garbage. It's like National Enquirer. I mean, if you like it,
I don't care if people care about this stuff; they're allowed to. So if like you're interested in interpersonal drama and e-girl celebrity stuff, TimCast is not the channel for you. And if that's the case, then I don't want your money. Tim Pool attacks his fans. Literally didn't do it. And it's just not true.
There you have it, guys. It's not true. It's not true. I repeat, I did not hit her. I did not. If you know that reference, you get some points. Wow. That's funny. I need this alarm clock. Okay, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a development. So Defango sent TimCast, Chris Carr and Tim Pool. Chris is the editor at TimCast, I guess the website, and Tim. I keep calling him Mango. Manuel Defamation, Defango Defamation. Hello, Chris, Tim. It's been brought to my attention that you were the editor that allowed the defamation story in Shane Dawson's. Shane Dawson? Is that his name? I don't think his name is Shane Dawson. I think it's am I crazy? Is that his name? Shane Cashman. It's Shane Cashman. Is that a spelling error? Part 3 of the Eliza Blue story. You allowed that complete fabrication. I mean, he sent this, right? I'm not just reading a draft. Email is out. Yeah, okay. He sent this. I hope he changed it to Cashman. Of the Eliza Blue story, you allowed that complete fabrication to be published without any investigation, without even reaching out to me for comment. Is this how news is supposed to work? Do you know that I released the shadow box documents to expose that company and those people before they could hurt someone? Do you know that I got multiple restraining orders against people in that company for the defamation you willingly published without any research? Are you aware that I have never been a part of any case that went to trial and have been dismissed from every single one? We are happy that Cassandra McDonald removed the story, but this is not enough at all. That tagline is a joke, and you should be ashamed of yourself for not even reaching out to me. All I have requested from you guys is a fucking apology. That's it. I'm sorry to Manuel Defango for misrepresenting the documents he released at great detriment to himself to expose a company we thought he was still a part of. He has been stalked by the people he exposed when he released it, and our reporters were not educated to the case, and we are sorry. This is me writing to inform you that I intend to open up legal paperwork against Chris Carr, executive editor of TimCast News. There's a lot of spelling errors in this, Manuel. I hope you did a spell check. As well as the company of TimCast and its founder, Tim Pool, due to the insane defamation and libel pro se in a recent article. If I don't get that public apology in the next 7 days, this will happen. I have already lost $200K in contracts due to your reporting. So please realize there is damages. There are damages. Sorry, I get so perturbed by spelling errors. I expect you guys to do the right thing, make this easy on everyone, and apologize. I was a paying member of the YouTube channel member on the website, watch the show regularly. I'm a single dude who has been damaged by this insane story multiple times over the years, and it's awful you people didn't even research this or even think to talk to me about it. I would have given you anything you asked for, including access. I would have given you asses. That sounds like something Eliza would say. To my fucking computer to prove you wrong if you simply just asked. I haven't been sleeping ever since Tim said a reputation management company was after Eliza and him because I knew he was talking about me. Now I have proof as well as all the elements necessary to take this one to trial from your TimCast IRL show comments and Shane Cashman's podcast interview a day before the article released that clearly names me. I'm not asking to be on your show. I'm not asking for a handout. I'm simply asking you to do the right thing by me, your subscribers, and yourself. Best, Manuel Chavez III. Woo! He sent this out, this morning? Email is out, TimCast. You have 7 days to do the right thing. You have 7 days to do the right thing. Shane Dawson, 100 typos. You write like a high schooler. Oh. Okay, I screenshotted the email before I proofread it. Yeah, he proofread it, guys. Aiden Kearney says you don't need to prove any monetary damages. You have been defamed per se. True, but hitting the point home is best. But if they believed it was true at the time of publishing and then retracted once they knew it, probably dismissed. I love that the email was sent from Griftcast to TimCast. Should have written this gonzo style and waited until halfway down the 6th page to Twink Sprink. You win for funniest comment. Should have waited until it was halfway down the 6th page to get to the point. God, that's funny. Gonzo style, guys. Everyone's mentioning the errors. He fixed them, guys. It's really hard to just say, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Why did I say it like that? These people think that they are elites and we are just hack frauds, so they don't even owe us the courtesy of general decency. Damn. Sounds like people are burned by this. I think the TimCast response will be something along the lines of, come at me, bro. Why would you go after Chris Carr instead of Cassandra Fairbanks? Cassandra is the editor-in-chief. It is her responsibility. I'm thinking you're on Tim's payroll now, trying to justify his claims by acting insane. Wow. Tim is figuring out which grift to go to to maximize profits, admit they were wrong and apologize or go to trial, or keeping it going long enough to grift and then settle out of court. I learned more facts about Eliza with receipts in Defango's thread than I did in Cashman's 80K word article. He backed it up with receipts. Well, I hope they work it out. I don't think anybody wants to go to court over this. Shane doubling down. He's like, I still love you, Eliza. I'll never let go, Jack. Contact a YouTuber named Heiss. He knows Train End. Oh, what is Train End? What's up, Chugi Show? Have they rescinded the offer to Eliza? No. They want to have her still. They want to have an open dialogue. Free speech, etc. Russell Hall, I stand with Scroats McGoat. Thank you for your support. Michael Von Wolvenhouse, thanks for the super chat. Russell Hall, Scroats McGoat spoke for all of us. Why'd you go marry him? Voice of the people. Oh, thanks for the 20. 2 things. 1, I talked to Scroats McGoats, and it's all true. 2, the Ohio train wreck is worse than they say. I used to be a hazmat first responder and went through the safety data sheet on vinyl chloride in a vid. It's bad. God, that's scary. Mace Windu for 5. Did you watch The Hill's new video yesterday? Blair White was on talking about Eliza Blue with them. No. Let's see. Is it on YouTube? Is it on YouTube? The Hill. I can't type with these long ass nails. I don't know how people do it. Let's go to videos. Where is oh, Grift exposed? How long is this? 12 minutes? Should I EFAP it? What's up, Young Bei Ching? Thanks for the super chat. I wonder if Chubby Emu would do a video on Ohio. Who's Chubby Emu? Yeah, hit him up. Michael Von Wolvenhouse. Chrissie Mayr is a fire. Carol Burnett, don't you think? Thank you. Roman King. Hey, Chrissie Mayr, didn't Tim Pool give you an open invitation to address the issue this week, to sit down and talk the issue over with Shane Cashman? Yeah, they have not reached out to schedule me at all. I gave them some available dates that I could do it and have not heard back. So I would say it doesn't look like that's going to happen because I haven't been contacted about it. So that's sort of telling, I guess. Okay, let's watch this. Blair White on Rising, Eliza Blue exposed, sex trafficking claims, nothing more than a grift. See, I wonder if Blair and this Hill, I wonder if this Hill guy found out about this issue through Blair or Blair's video.
We've been talking a lot about Eliza Blue on this show. Eliza Blue is a self-described survivor of sex trafficking who has gotten a lot of attention online, who has even on Twitter informally advised Elon Musk on how to handle that kind of content on the platform, and she was interviewed all over alternative and right-wing media. But her story has now been heavily criticized and scrutinized, and a lot of people think she made up her own victim narrative in order to go down this route of fame. Now, Eliza has tweeted in response to being called out. She says this: "My story as a survivor of human trafficking is 100% real, sadly. I had nothing to do with the paid PR campaign to destroy me. There was no real reason for me to trend on Twitter on and off for 2.5 weeks. Real people who I knew and loved felt for an op designed to destroy me. Journalists are asking for an interview or a quote. Read all 3 articles. That's the quote. Publish that. TimCast got the interview. Cashman did the work, and weeks of research interview Shane Cashman. So Shane Cashman is a writer for Tim Pool for TimCast, who interviewed her at great length, although I saw subsequently those articles were out, and now they've actually been taken off of the Tim Pool website. Joining us today to discuss all of this is YouTuber and podcaster and host of the Blair White Project, Blair White, joins us now to discuss. Thrilled to have you on Rising, Blair.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I watched the video you did on the Eliza Blue subject the other day. The best so far, going over all the ins and outs of her story over the year. So, you know, for someone, say we have someone.
Let me try to refresh it.
We've been talking a lot about Eliza Blue on this show. Eliza did on the Eliza Blue subject the other day, and I actually thought it was one of the best so far, going over all the ins and outs of her story over the year. So, you know, for someone, say we have someone watching who doesn't know why they should care about this, you know, what do you think is the big headline here for why this person has become so influential, and why it's important to many of us to kind of shine a light and call into question some of the really sketchy things about her backstory?
What the hell happened?
Or doing the type of work that Eliza Blue fabricated, that Eliza Blue was human trafficked, apparently multiple times throughout the years. Now that story is following through, people are asking, how did someone whose story was so shaky rise to such prominence and power on social media, get the ear of one of the most powerful men on the planet, Elon Musk, and then was able to actually abuse the system to censor people who criticized her or questioned her story. So we thought that we had turned sort of a corner when Elon Musk bought Twitter, and we thought that, you know, at least on that platform in particular, censorship was something that maybe people wouldn't have to worry about as much. However, clearly that's not the case, because for some reason, Eliza Blue was able to pull strings at Twitter, and people were simply posting screenshots of publicly made music videos that she willingly and
okay, we know all this. Is there any news?
Some people, oh, someone's Twitter was banned. For many people in this day and age, that's their living. That's the way they make money. Perhaps not directly, but oftentimes these creators were promoting their YouTube videos. videos, which do make them money. As a YouTube creator myself, that's my entire career, that's my entire livelihood. I was not personally banned, but many people were false flagged on YouTube as well, which is actually illegal. So this woman is actually engaging in
illegal
and censorship and illegal activity to cover up her story. For what reason, we don't really know, because I don't particularly find participating in music videos shameful. But if that poke holes in my story of being trafficked, maybe I would have the same urge to shut people down.
So she's been
very unfortunate.
Eliza Blue is very non-specific about the nature of what happened to her. You played a clip.
We have chat royalty in the chat. Wow. What up, Scroats McGoats? Scroats, this is what you deserve. You deserve a little musical interlude. What up, Scroats? You've had a tough week. No one's had it harder than Scroats McGoats. Let's be perfectly honest. But now you and Dr. Dickenballs kind of like have a bond.
In your video of Katie Herzog, who's another great independent content creator, asking her about this, and she just like would not talk about it. She didn't go into detail when she was on Tim Pool recently, when she was on with Michael Malice. So non-specific. And then we find out she has a kind of history of was trying to do a reality TV. She was a groupie for My Chemical Romance, I believe. She had.
Yeah, this is much better to have Blair on, because like the last time The Hill tried to cover this, it was like it kind of fell flat because the woman, like his sort of co-anchor, like either didn't know anything or wasn't interested and like had just nothing to add to it.
All these other kinds of trying to be a famous person. And then it seems she lands on, oh, I was a victim of this really terrible crime. And by the way, I know exactly who did it, but I'm not going to say, and I'm not going to give any verifying details. And now there have actually been friends and family members of hers who knew her at the time and said, yeah, like nothing close to this ever happened.
Right. And, I'm not of the mindset that just because someone is a victim of a crime, particularly a sex crime, that person must go forward and publicize the name of their abuser publicly. And that's just a given. I don't believe that at all. However, if you're going to make money off of this supposed crime, if you're going to rise to prominence and fame, and if you're going to purport to be an expert in, that situation, then you absolutely should provide some details of what happened to you, if for only the reason that it helps people understand the issue better. So, people would, up until recently, hail her as an expert on this issue. But once people really started looking at it, they said, what does she really do as it pertains to this issue? She provides words on Twitter about it. She goes on podcasts talking about it, but there's no actual evidence she helps real victims. She claimed to open a Humanity House, it was called, which was a safe haven for trafficking victims, but that charity does not exist anywhere on paper. There's no proof that she's ever taken anyone into that. And yet she's used that to, prop herself up as someone who's doing good in that world. And people have an issue with that. I'm someone who takes that issue seriously. And what's funny is I don't think that you have to be a victim of something to advocate for becoming a
really have gotten into this problem because the standard of believe all women is much lower on the left, and that she could say now nobody would question if on the left somebody said, look, I thought it was consensual then, but I realize now it's not. In fact, Monica Lewinsky said something very similar about her relationship with Bill Clinton recently, and I think actually that made a lot of sense, right? She was 18, 20-year-old at the time. She thought it was consensual. She was in love, and now she realizes that she was taken advantage of. So it's so funny to me that she got into trouble, it seems like, because almost like she picked the wrong political side to be she picked the side where you don't really, just like you said, Blair, you don't really need to have the identity in order to advocate for something. But she, talk to me about how you see all this. Do you think this is an interesting thing to have noticed?
Correct. On my YouTube channel, I advocate, for and against issues all the time. And so I avoid people who.
Obviously, the things he said over the years are really gross and bad. He's accused of very gross and bad things. He's seems to be credibly accused to another. I don't know that that's really the case with him, which is not to say there's nothing illegal going on, where she's, very like slightly clothed. I mean, it's softcore, it's not hardcore at all. And she was objecting to people sharing those on YouTube and other places, even though it was clear she had no right to have that shut down. And then say, well, is that what you mean by sex trafficking? And it just kind of really got out of control, especially given her ability to compel Twitter and others to take that content that was critical of her down.
Right. I see a lot of people these days, and again, it's so unfortunate, but, calling things like having a pimp as a prostitute human trafficking. And it's not quite that, right? And again, there's levels to sexual predation, there's levels to sexual crimes. And as far as the Andrew Tate story, I think a lot of people are kind of seeing that several of these supposed victims who come out and have said, actually, in fact, we are not victims. And because of the corruption that exists and supposedly videos pay like $100 maybe to video girls that were doing the type of work that Eliza Blue did. It's not exactly a job that a high status, as was claimed, human trafficker that Eliza Blue supposedly had would send someone on, right? There's also interviews of her saying that she turns down offers for sex from people that the price was up to $150,000. If you're being human trafficked, I don't know what sort of human trafficker is going to allow you to turn down a $150K offer, but then send you to do $100 music video gigs. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, these were all great questions that should have been asked all along, but I'm glad to see are now being asked of her in a lot of the channels we've been talking about, and of course.
All right. That's cool. A little more press. How are you holding up, Scroats my goats? Very gross and bad. Hard-hitting journalism. Very gross. Very bad. Oh, what's up, TJ Holly? Thanks for the super chat. How are you, bud? Mercury Lago. Is that how you say it? Mercy Lago. I've known people like Eliza. They will stand by their lie till it comes crashing down in flames and ruins their lives. It's just a matter of time now. Okay, when? No, I don't want to see her life ruined. I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know why she would think that waiting is going to help. Russell Hall Scroats is the GOAT. He sure is. What's up, Ghost Crusaders? I will go gay for Blair. Sorry, not sorry. Same. Honestly, same. She's beautiful. Scroats, my goats. Oh, Ashton Birdie's in the chat. What's up, Ashton? What's up, Ashton? This was something I was going to pull up when we were talking about the leaky train. From Millie Weaver. She's a reporter, an independent journalist, and the host of the Millennial Millie Show. My father worked as a regional manager at a rail company for decades. His take: whenever the decision is made to burn, it's always a last resort. Always, first and foremost, is to contain the chemical. Okay, so what are these images of? Vinyl chloride is a chlorinated hydrocarbon occurring as a colorless, highly flammable gas with a mild, sweet odor that may emit toxic fumes of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrogen chloride, and phosgene when heated to decomposition. Vinyl chloride is primarily used to make polyvinyl chloride to manufacture plastics. Exposure to this substance affects the central and peripheral nervous system and causes liver damage. Prolonged exposure to vinyl chloride can cause a set of symptoms that is characterized by Raynaud's phenomena, joint and muscle pain, and scleroderma-like skin changes. Vinyl chloride is a known human carcinogen and is associated with an increase, and I'm not sure what this is a screenshot from, maybe some kind of scientific thing. Increased risk of developing liver cancer, predominantly angiosarcoma of the liver, but it is also linked to brain and lung cancer, as well as cancer of the lymphatic and hematopoietic system. Vinyl chloride appears as a colorless gas with a sweet odor, easily ignited, shipped as liquefied gas under own vapor pressure. Contact with the unconfined liquid may cause frostbite by evaporative cooling. Leaks may be liquid or vapor. Vapors are heavier than air, may asphyxiate by the displacement of air under prolonged exposure to fire or intense heat. The containers may rupture violently and rocket. Suspected carcinogen used to make plastics, adhesives, and other chemicals. Burns easily, not stable at high temperatures. It has a mild, sweet odor. It's a manufactured substance. It does not occur naturally. It's used to make PVC, and that is used to make a variety of plastic products, including pipes, wire, cable coatings, packaging materials. Vinyl chloride is also known as chloroethylene, chloroethylene, and ethylene monochloride. That all sounds the same to me. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Okay, hold the phone. More images. Okay, this is from chemicalbook.com. Section: firefighting measures, extinguishing media. If media on fire or involved in fire, do not extinguish fire unless flow can be stopped using water in flooding quantities as fog. Cool all affected flooding quantities of water. Apply water from as far a distance as possible. Specific hazards arising from the chemical. Special hazards of combustion products forms highly toxic combustion products such as hydrogen chloride, phosgenic, and carbon monoxide. Container may explode in fire. Gas is heavier than air and may travel considerable distance to source of ignition and flash back. Advice for firefighters: shut off supply if not possible and no risk to surroundings. Let the fire burn itself out. In other cases, extinguish with powder, carbon dioxide, or I guess that means water spray. Notes: in case of fire, keep cylinder cool by spraying with water. Combat fire from a sheltered position. Intense or continued but not chronic exposure could cause temporary incapacities, possible residual injury, will rapidly or completely vaporize at normal atmospheric pressure. Okay, this is like how close you are. I don't know what this really means. Undergoes violent chemical change at elevated temperatures and pressures. Accidental release measures. Label elements. Okay, extremely flammable gas, highly flammable liquid and vapor, contains gas under pressure, may explode if heated, may cause cancer, causes damages to organs. Do not breathe dust, fume, gas, mist, vapors, or spray. Wear protective gloves or protective clothing and eye protection, face protection. Call a poison center. If you swallow it, immediately call a poison center. If you're exposed, get medical advice and attention. Protect from sunlight. Store in a well-ventilated place. Keep away from heat, hot surfaces. Do not... Yeah, it says here in response, leaking gas fire. Do not extinguish unless leak can be stopped safely. In case of leakage, eliminate all ignition sources. If exposed or concerned, get medical advice. Protect from sunlight. Okay, store locked up. Sounds pretty dangerous. Always, first and foremost, is to contain the chemical. My concern, I guess this is in speaking with her dad, my concern is that it's not stable at high temperatures, so they can't say it was a controlled burn. They must have been up against it. Look at response page 377. They followed the book. I would be concerned with well water. It's a clear liquid with a sweet smell. If you're able to find the manifest when they have really bad cars like this, only so many are allowed to be coupled. They would need to have so many non-lethal cars mixed in. Like, for example, 10 cars were carrying... Okay, she said 10 cars were carrying hazardous chemicals and 50 were not. Her dad said, yeah, don't think that's allowed. Then Millie said, they're supposed to spread out the hazardous cars just in case something like this happens. That's a bad train. They had them broke up. Your water is probably unsafe. Your loaded hopper cars are plastic pellets. All your glycols are antifreeze. Semolina is flour. Your flammable gas is a concern of blowing up. It looks like the PRV, pressure relief valves, did what they were designed to do. Glycol is known for killing animals. Lube oils are mild. The owners of the rail. Oh, this is top mutual funds holding the Norfolk Southern Group, Vanguard, Washington Mutual, JP Morgan, Equity, Lazard, Fidelity. I don't really understand what that means. Pray for the first responders. This isn't going to end well for them. Damn. Unfortunately, some of these chemicals produce a gas when burned that is worse than liquid form. It took them 3 days to decide to burn the contents. 5 of those containers were vinyl chloride. That's 1.2 million gallons of toxic chemicals. Holy shit. Yeah, I was listening to a Twitter space she was hosting yesterday. She sounded concerned. Chrissy, no! Hi, Ashton. Oh, that's not a super chat. It's just a chat. I wouldn't take anything Millie says as something real. Oh, okay. Disregard it all because Ashton said so. Autistic musings. Thank you for the 20. Don't know if this is what you had in mind for this channel, but I want you to know that by platforming everyone, platforming everyone you have as of late, you are doing more for free speech than most free speech advocates lately. Wow, thanks. I thought this was going to be like a critical comment when I first started reading it. Thank you. I believe in talking to everybody, even if I don't know, a lot of other people hate them or don't trust them. That's why I would still be open to talking to Eliza again. I'd have her back on the channel. Voice of the people, thanks for the super chat. 1.1 gram per liter to fully dilute and not create hydrochloric acid. Not to be harmful. Dilute 1 drop in 10 gallons of water. It boils and vaporizes under pressure at 7.9 degrees. The fire was best way, but now. in water and air. Okay, so now it's in the water and the air. So do you feel like Voice of the People, this was kind of like the best way to handle it? What's up, Daniel? Thanks for the super chat. Happy V-Day, Chrissy. Thanks, Scroats from McGoats, for answering that chat. It was real. Sucks, Tim, a liar. Called a bot. Sad Shane won't admit wrong about Defango. Yeah. I think an apology would be appropriate. I would go gay for Blair. Sorry, not sorry. Hey, same, Ghost. I would also go gay. Whoa, I'm so hungry. Let's look at the poll. 85%. Ooh, we're getting some more votes for no's, or it depends. Interesting. What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Anything in particular? Hazmat response should have come from the feds. Fealty would also go gee for Blair, and I learned all about anal last night too. What spot was fun last night? We had a really great show. Keanu Thompson was on. Who else was on? Brianna Diamond and Kate Meany. It was so fun. It's like the show just went like that. Chrissy should open a studio and get base comedians to grift with her about the news and make that bank, Chrissy. What? This isn't good enough for you? You don't like this? You don't like my little corner? My little corner, my pink corner of shame here? No, it's going to be cool once I get that sign up. Right, NVIDIA? Look, we're doing the best we can with our budget, okay, sir? Let's talk about the Global Disinformation Index. Because it's basically ESG for news. Like what ESG is for corporations, the Global Disinformation Index is to news. Oh, look, this fucking disgusting windbag is involved. Surprise, surprise. All right, this is from Washington Times, so apologies if this is like a little leftist sounding. Conservative media outlets that are struggling as their advertising dollars dry up may have a British-based disinformation group tied to left-wing mega donor George Soros in part to blame. This is so fucking communist. I can tell already. The Global Disinformation Index, a risk ratings outfit that has received State Department funding, secretly distributes blacklists or right-tilting news organizations to advertising companies, according to the Washington Examiner series Disinformation Inc. Congressional Republicans called for answers Monday from the State Department. It ought to scare everybody in this country, regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, that the government is involved in censoring speech. Senator Eric Schmidt, Missouri Republican, said in an email, the unholy alliance between government and big tech must be dismantled. Representative Elise Stefanik, a New York Republican, said the State Department should not be funding woke organizations who seek to censor and demonetize conservative outlets. House Republicans will assert our oversight over State Department's fundings of these type of groups, she told the Examiner. The GDI, which has 2 U.S. nonprofit affiliates, reportedly received more than $300,000 through 2 State Department-backed entities, the Global Engagement Center, which gave the index about $100,000, and the National Endowment for Democracy. Every time I hear democracy now, I just like associate it with like the pushing of communism. That's unfortunate. And they contributed more than $200,000. The National Endowment for Democracy is listed on the GDI website as a funder, as is the Open Society Foundations, which Mr. Soros founded as the principal vehicle for donating to his favored causes. Wow. A State Department spokesperson pushed back on the claim, saying that the Global Engagement Center in no way moderates content on social media platforms. That is not its mission or intent. No, but it's directly related to advertising. The role of it's literally like the equivalent of kind of debanking someone. The role of the GEC is to identify foreign state and non-state disinformation narratives. Or, just information you don't like. We can call that disinformation. Trends and techniques aimed at undermining or influencing the policy, security, or stability of the United States, U.S. allies, and partner nations, the spokesperson told the Washington Times. The department also said that the Global Disinformation Index was put together for an international partnership, read globalism, New World Order, Build Back Better, of professionals who were looking at which nations were the most resistant to disinformation. Wow, this is a global effort to basically shoot down free speech and anybody dissenting from the message, the New World Order, the Build Back Better, the WEF, all of it. So you're basically rewarding the nations that are like that comply with, they're resistant to disinformation, like fucking Canada, probably Australia. Oh, good for you. You're resistant to disinformation, which means you're only letting like commie sources come through and have the most impact. Great. National Endowment for Democracy spokesperson Leslie Awn said her organization gave 2 grants to GDI, but not to police U.S. political speech. The grants were very narrowly focused on an initiative to identify and combat the disinformation flowing from authoritarian regimes, particularly China, she told the Washington Times. She said the endowment did not fund GDI's work on U.S.-based media and that her organization's mandate does not include the United States. We did not and would not and cannot fund anything that focuses on the United States. That's funny because I heard from the Daily Wire this morning that they literally named like the 15 problematic news sources, and the Daily Wire was listed as one of them. The Conservative Media Research Center said the GDI has 3 members on its advisory board with ties to Mr. Soros through Open Society Foundations and the Atlantic Council, which he also helped fund. The radical left knows better than anyone that the best way to upend America is to destroy freedom, is to muzzle the voices of their opposition, said Dan Schneider, vice president of the MRC, Free Speech America, and MRC Business. They masquerade as defenders of information, but we all know they're just authoritarian thugs. Founded in 2018, the Global Disinformation Index insists it adheres to neutrality in its mission to ensure advertisers' money and brands do not end up supporting high-risk websites. High risk meaning, like not leftist. But its risk ratings reveal an anti-stark conservative bias. In its December report, the index rated the 10 riskiest online news accounts as the New York Post, all my faves, Reason, Real Clear Politics, Daily Wire, The Blaze, the Media Research Center, One American News Network, The American Conservative, The Federalist, Newsmax, and The Spectator. These are all these all happen to be the riskiest online news outlets. Wow, what a coincidence that they're also non-leftist. The index lowest risk online news accounts included BuzzFeed and Huffington Post. That bullshitty, fluffy garbage. Wow. GDI Executive Director Claire Medford said in 2022 that the index had a significant impact on the advertising revenue of sites branded as purveyors of disinformation, which former State Department official Mike Benz described as devastating. The implementation of ad revenue crushing sentinels like NewsGuard, Global Disinformation Index, and the like has completely crippled the potential of alternative news sources to compete on an even economic playing field with approved media outlets like CNN and the New York Times, said Mr. Benz, a former deputy for the Internal Communications and Information Policy, told the Examiner. Civil rights lawyer Hans Bader lambasted the GDI as very dumb. He said it has nothing to do with disinformation as opposed to blacklisting based on viewpoint. Conservative news outlets also unloaded on the index. New York Post columnist David McCarthy pointed out that none of the media outlets that stoked the now discredited Trump-Russia collusion narrative was dinged for disinformation. Isn't that funny? The outlets that pushed Russiagate didn't seem to be penalized for pushing their own disinformation. Yeah, what about all the people who censored the Hunter Biden laptop story? They don't seem to get penalized for it. Government agencies in this country have few powers to suppress journalism and political speech, he said in a Monday op-ed. But the First Amendment becomes moot when censorship is outsourced to foreign actors and a small body of politically motivated or intimidated firms that control the infrastructure of mass communications. Boom. I will give this article a shrug. Okay, comments. Soros destroyed the British pound. The Bank of Thailand was convicted of insider trading in France, was under investigation in Ukraine until the Obama administration, Biden, stepped in. We are involved in a war in the Ukraine because Soros paid to have his puppet Zelensky put into office. He has brought and paid for Joe Biden using Ukraine money. Soros' goal is to destroy the American economy by shortening the dollar and making billions when it collapses, and the brainwashed lemming communist liberals are tripping over themselves to help him. I agree. You know, I guess at this point, I mean, this probably doesn't shock a lot of you, and it kind of just brings home the point that, like, we are going to have to fund our own alternative media. I think it probably does come down to, like, if you like a place like The Blaze or The Daily Wire, make sure you donate to keep these outlets going. Maybe it's just gonna, like, run off private donations. Like, maybe you don't fucking need federal money. Oh boy. I'm so hungry. Okay. Push-ups. Invite this voice guy on. Seems to know his stuff. About what? I don't know. When you do this, people, you got to give me more information. What is his deal? What is his specialty? What does he talk about? Just saying the name of a person is not the most helpful. And we have a whole page on Discord for guest suggestions as well, in case I forget. But I'm writing it down. Voice guy, but I have no fucking clue who he is, what he does, why I should have him on. But thank you, push-ups. Not to give you shit, but Mike Bickle, please clarify what you mean by leaky train. Leaky train syndrome. You know, sometimes I get a leaky train. I get a leaky caboose after some Taco Bell. I know I'm not the only one. Martian Lives Matter. Thanks for the super chat. Wasn't Yuri Bezmenov warning about disinformation 50 years ago? He spoke about how they infiltrated schools. In my opinion, is why we have these leftist issues. Yep, they have completely infiltrated schools and academia. Yes, I'm gonna have George Soros on. I'll get right on that. Does anybody have an email for him? Oh, my Discord. I think I can find a Discord invite. Let's see. Discord. Invite people. Copy. Okay, I'll put this in the chat. Maybe you can join the Discord and put your guest suggestions there. Okay, I don't know if that'll work. I'm new here. Matt Scroggins, what's the link to the Discord server? I have some good guest suggestions. Thanks for your work. Okay, see if what I just posted in the chat works. Tehran the Black, thanks for the super chat. Leaky train sounds like something Matt from Tinder would be invited to. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The mic's getting weird. Sometimes I don't always talk into it like with my mouth hole. Sometimes I like pull away. no. What's up, Young Biching? Chubby Emmy is Bernard Sue, who does videos like a guy ate 10 pounds of sugarless gummies in 60 seconds. This is the story of what happened next. That's funny. Cool. Okay, it's working now. I just have to make sure I'm putting my whole face hole into it. Oh, I'm getting so many texts. Let's go to the poll. All right, we're at 85% yes for Brittany Venti being invited to the Austin Minds event. Hey, if you feel that way, tweet it out. Tag Minds, let them know. I think they want to know how people feel. One way or another. Aw. Happy Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. Wow, this is interesting. There is a girl who allegedly survived 2 school shootings. Isn't that funny that I said? I pronounced your name like a black girl, Tehran, the black. Is that how you say it? Is there another way to say it? How else would you say that? I hope that's a compliment. Adam Choi, thank you for supporting free speech. See you in Pasadena. It's going to be fun. Did you watch Roseanne's special? I'm going to do Fox Nation free trial and then cancel. I am excited about Pasadena. Yes, everybody buy tickets to my show in Pasadena next Thursday. The link is on my website, ChrissieMayr.com. I do want to watch Roseanne's special. Push-ups. You just read like $50 worth of super chats from @Voice of the People. Okay, you wrote voice guy. That sounds different. You guys have to be specific here. Oh, Tyrann. Okay, yeah, I guess you could pronounce it Tyrann. That's weird. Okay, let's talk about this woman who survived 2 school shootings. Michigan State shooting survivor also endured 2012 Sandy Hook massacre. A college student who survived the deadly shooting that killed 3 students and critically wounded 5 others Monday night at Michigan State University was also at the horrific Sandy Hook massacre over 10 years ago. Damn. I'm 21 years old, and this is the second mass shooting that I've now lived through. I mean, if this doesn't make you believe in God, Jackie, I don't know what will. Said in an emotional TikTok video. Oh, she was on TikTok. We gotta watch her TikTok. Kind of like AOC to me. Let's play her TikTok. TikTok on the clock, but the body don't stop, no. Okay.
So the reason I'm making this video right now is because it is almost 1 a.m. and I am currently directly across the street from where the shootings at Michigan State occurred. I am 21 years old, and this is the second mass shooting that I have now lived through. 10 years and 2 months ago, I survived the Sandy Hook shooting. And when I was crouched in the corner in school in Newtown, Connecticut on 12/14/12, I was hunched in the corner with my classmates for so long that I actually got a PTSD fracture in my L4 and L5 in my right lower back. I now have a full-blown PTSD fracture that flares up anytime I am in a stressful situation or anything occurs that's aggressive like that.
Wow.
The fact that this is the second mass shooting that I have now lived through is incomprehensible. My heart goes out to all the families and the friends of the victims of this Michigan State shooting. But we can no longer just provide love and prayers. It needs to be legislation. It needs to be action. It's not okay. We can no longer allow this to happen. We can no longer be complacent.
I bet.
I'll forever be Sandy Hook.
I bet that they reached out to. I mean, I bet after every shooting they reach out to victims and be like, "Hey, you want to read this? You want to do a TikTok that says we need to do legislation?" And then they offer to pay them I don't know, thousands of dollars, whatever. Definitely. I mean, who's going to do this for free? I don't know. I don't know if I'm cynical or I just feel like college students are dumb and they will pretty much just like believe what you tell them. So I have a feeling she was paid to say this.
Strong and forever be Spartan strong.
What happened when TikTok was for coordinated dances? I miss those days. Bring back the choreography. It does smell funny. Like, she's not acting like a person with PTSD, but what do I know? Now a senior at MSU, Matthews was a student at Sandy Hook when gunman Adam Lanza killed 20 students and 6 teachers and staff. Speaking from a room across the road where Anthony Dwayne McRae gunned down several MSU students just hours before, she said she suffers from a full-blown PTSD fracture. I didn't know that was possible. My heart goes out to all the families. We need legislation. Oh, she wants all the guns to be taken away. Hey, you know what could have stopped this shooting? Somebody with a gun. Because guess what? You think you're going to like get criminals to give up their guns? Yeah, okay. That's very naive if you believe that's the case. And guess what? Certain types of guns are already illegal. I guess it's obvious where I stand on this. More guns. Guns for all. I think that the security guards at all these schools should have guns. I broke my PTSD. It's a made-up injury. I'm going to look it up. PTSD fracture. Sounds like digital human sex trafficking, though. Okay. It's saying you can have a brain injury, but that's not what she has. PTSD. Yeah, this doesn't sound like a real thing that exists. Just from a quick search. Yeah. No one can find anything about it. Okay. That's weird. Maybe it's a brand new type of injury. Okay. You guys are sus of it too. Chubby enemy is Brazil. Oh, I already did this. Oh, I already read that. Thanks. Get Alex Jones to fact check that girl. Oh my God. Would love to have Alex on. What's up, Young Pei Chang? It was never for dancing. Chinese digital fentanyl. Oh, see? You know, Young Pei, this is your people who did this to us. I hope you're happy. Your people. Okay, I think it's only fitting that we discuss Fetterman's crazy neck situation. Oh, is my mouse dying? Oh, there's some dust stuck in the mouse hole. That's fucking gross. My mouse hole. Tucker Carlson calls out large bump on Fetterman's neck. Keep your eyes on this lump. Okay, I mean, is he just turning into Uncle Fester or Lurch? Or a combination of the two? Like, which Addams family member is he going to slowly turn into? That looks bad. Any medical people in the chat that can tell us what they think this is here? Fox News host Tucker Carlson highlighted a large bump on the back of U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman's neck that has recently gained attention online as Fetterman's overall fitness for office has been called into question following a stroke that he suffered earlier this year and amazingly was still able to win the election. The segment on Tucker Carlson tonight comes after the Washington Post editorial board wrote an op-ed this week that Fetterman should release his medical records for an independent review. He stammers, appears confused, and keeps his remarks short. He's held no news conferences, the op-ed said. The Fetterman campaign squandered credibility by concealing from the public for 2 days after his stroke that he had been hospitalized. Yeah, that's fucking sketchy. The op-ed continued, it waited weeks longer to reveal a more complete picture of his medical history, including that he had been diagnosed in 2017 with cardiomyopathy. Last week, we told you in some great detail about a man called John Fetterman who was running for the U.S. Senate from Pennsylvania, Carlson began. What we didn't mention at the time was Fetterman's running mate, because honestly, we didn't know he had a running mate. But we learned of the identity of this running mate yesterday when Fetterman, for the first time in memory, removed the filthy DNA-covered hoodie that, as it turns out, conceals quite a bit underneath, he continued. Maybe that's why he wears the hoodies all the time, to hide his crazy neck bump. So beneath the foul-smelling hoodie was this protrusion. As you can see, it's not quite a goiter, but it's definitely bigger than a pimple. It's a lump. But what sort of lump? Carlson continued. That's really the question. I want to watch the segment and see Tugger's super serious news face. What is with the lump? That's really the question. Does this lump have its own Instagram? Does it plan to run for statewide office in Pennsylvania? Don't laugh. A party that put Joe Biden in the White House is perfectly capable of building a whole campaign around any insentient lump of flesh. That's funny. I bet Carlson has comedy writers. In fact, they're running John Fetterman, who can't even talk, Carlson concluded. So keep your eyes on this lump. It could very well run with Kamala Harris in 2024. Fuck, that's funny. Ew. It's lump. It's lump. It's lump. It's in his head. Better neck. Yeah, homeboy, not even a turtleneck is going to cover that up. That makes sense that he would do the hoodies and then have them bunched. That's no good. What do we think, chat? Oh, yeah, EHF. Thanks for the super chat. Gun control does nothing to address why people go on shootings. It's putting a SpongeBob Band-Aid on broken bones after getting hit by a truck. Address the mental health, drug, homeless, and economic problems, and we may see a drop. Absolutely. There's a crazy mental health epidemic happening in this country. Kids want to end their lives. Kids are statistically way more depressed, hopeless feeling, all of it. Everything is bad right now. Everything is bad. All the kids are depressed. It's too much social media. It's too much they're comparing themselves to heavily filtered celebrities. They're not getting outside enough. They're not doing enough sports. That's going to be my answer for everything, is sports. That's actually an old picture. He's thinner now, but is the lump still there? Lump. Lumpy. It's crazy. Oh, this is my thermos from DabbleCon. DabbleCon 2023. Skull! It says all proceeds will go to the beloved chat, which is a Stuttering John inside joke. DabbleCon. What a great time. What an awesome time we had. Wow. Okay. Did I cover everything I wanted to cover? Yes, we talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. We will see. Yeah, if you want, I think it'd be great to have Venti at the Minds event. I think if you feel the same way, you should tweet at Minds and say, add at Brittany Venti. I think it would make for a very interesting conversation. And I think if Eliza really wants to save her public image, she should do it. She shouldn't run from this. It's going to do nothing but make her look bad. She's been running from questions for the last 2 years. And now that she's finally been found out, she can't continue to run. If she wants to stay in this space, being a public advocate, or whatever the fuck that means, she needs to start being able to answer these questions. And she needs to have a come to Jesus, super vulnerable honesty moment here. And to do it publicly would earn a little bit of my respect back. I think everybody's capable of a comeback. Everybody should be able to be forgiven. You just have to start being honest, man. We can't move forward unless you're honest. And it's not going to happen if you keep running from your critics, Eliza, and keep blocking them. I'm going to finish putting on the rest of my press-on nails. happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Love you all. This is my Valentine's to you. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to not eat so much candy because I did eat bread yesterday, which is not keto friendly. So I'm going to just cool it today. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you don't have a significant other, that's okay. Like, show yourself some love in one way or another, whether that's private time or going for a workout or take a nice hot bath or like buy or cook your favorite meal. Like, show yourself some love. Show the people that you love, blah, 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 love, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm sounding gay now. But I appreciate you all. Love you all. And we will see you tomorrow. Who do I have coming up tomorrow? Carmen Studer. Tomorrow at 3. Bluey and on. What's up, Bluey? Happy Valentine's Day to you too. I guess you got your account back there. Or maybe were you blocked off Twitter? All right. Love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.